might be safe forever. So open up your heart, let the unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate one another. Learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Unify and have a peaceful.
Let me have the charger.
When the clarity is our home, keep it changing.
Call the radio
On and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia. This land of liberty is our home. Let's keep it changing. It's the one and only home that we have. Oh, sweet Liberia. Love is all we need to make a stand.
Whoa. Love is all we need. Love is all we need to make our nation Liberia stand. That's why we all have to unify and have a peaceful Liberia. My name is Cyrus McGee. I'd like to say welcome to this special interview here on KMTV. That's the diaspora of Creative Minds Television. We are everywhere. That's why we are here on this wonderful Saturday morning from where I say, this time not from Minnesota, but out here in California, the Los Angeles area. And I'd like to say welcome to this special interview with a team from the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, ALJA, as the association gets prepared for its annual convention this year. Relatively strange, but it is going to be a wonderful one, like I understand already. And I'd like to welcome the entire team and welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's good
for
to have
having me.
And Isaac Ye is there in. I'm actually going this route because I'm taking it from the top. Isaac Ye is out there in Europe, precisely France. Samuel Johnson, can you tell us where you're coming to us from? Dr. Johnson, you have
He's
to
mute.
unmute.
He's
You have to
muted.
unmute yourself, please.
I'm
Okay,
coming
good.
to you from the first state, Delaware.
All right, Dr. Sam Johnson from Delaware. Mr. Lincoln Bryant.
I'm sitting here in the Twin City, boy. We're good here in Minnesota.
How you looking?
That's how we looking.
Mrs. Kadiatu Conan Ohari, welcome. Let's hear
Thank
you.
you so much. I'm coming from Maryland, right by the Potomac River.
All right. Mr. Jackson T.S. Sito, you know, the people from that area, if you call your phone as it is, not trouble. Jackson.
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you very much. I'm coming from the first state of the Union. That is the state of Delaware.
All right. Also, Roland Brown. Roland, are you there? Roland?
Hearing anything from Roland.
Roland, you seems mute. Roland, if you can just make some adjustment, that would be good. We're still not hearing you. Probably need to get
a phone.
Yeah, if you are using your telephone, we're still not hearing you. So probably you got to make some adjustment. But Roland is coming to us from our New England chapter. We hope we can make the adjustment. Then we can have you back. Are you getting us now? All right, maybe we can get you out and bring you back, Roland. Just try to rejoin, and I think by then we may be able to hear you. And with all much ado, Mr. Joe Mason, National President of ALJA, welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Nina say I'm from the great state of Minnesota, the state with some of the best weather in the nation. I'm sure most of the guys there will dispute that, but we have some weather here.
Yeah, and like I said in the intro, this is going to be a relatively different kind of convention, but I'm sure we are all fired up and excited to still be doing this despite or in spite of the pandemic that is hitting the world by storm. And our country, Liberia, is no exception. The U.S. and every area where we find ourselves all being hate, but we've decided, or the leadership, the membership of your organization decided to have this go. And Joe, you like to pick up from there to tell us, firstly, what is it like with the COVID-19, the impact on ALJA as a whole, and where we are?
Thank you so much, Cyrus. The, the epidemic, has hit ALJA members as well. There were members of ours who were impacted with the virus, their family members as well. And I know for a fact that I think I said this on another interview, and I will correct myself when I said earlier that as far as I know, no member of ALJA or their family members died as a consequence of the virus. I will correct myself. I know family members who were connected to ALJA died as a consequence of this virus. So, given that the United States is the epicenter of the coronavirus, and considering the interpersonal nature of our conventions, and everyone here can attest that when we do meet, there's a lot of interaction, person to person, because we're friends, we're comrades, and there's a lot of friendship and long-standing relationship that go many, many, many years. So it's difficult in this kind of environment to hold an in-person gathering. So we said, for the sake of our members, the health and well-being of our members, and the many others who normally join our convention each and every year, we thought that we will avoid an in-person convention this year, as difficult as it was in terms of not being able to meet, but we thought it was the most prudent thing to do. And so we are reverting now to the virtual format, and the virtual format also offers some advantages, and we'll be talking about that as well. But just for now, we thought that for the health and safety of our members and others who join our convention, that we will not hold an in-person convention this year, and we're looking forward to hopefully doing that come next year.
So, what did it take you to kind of have your entire membership accept to do this?
Change is always difficult, Cyrus, and there were some reluctance on the part of some of our membership that will go this route. We were juggling two options. The first one was that we cancel the convention entirely and plan for next year. The second option was to do the virtual format. After discussion with our membership, after a series of meetings, after doing a survey, we arrived at this option, out of the virtual format. And all intent and purpose, I think, we embrace the membership application, this option, and hopefully come Saturday next week, we can pull off virtual conventions. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, Joe Mason, National President of ALJA, and I believe you have a committee constituted to execute this convention, and we're happy to have with us the chair of the committee, Mr. Jackson Cedar. I don't know whether you want to pick it up there from our national president to tell us your plans for the convention. What are we expected to see, and who are some of those? Now it's not in person; it's virtually done. It's going to be virtually done. Who are some of those, and what are some of the challenges? Probably you can just pick it up from there.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah, for having me on. Uh, before I say anything, I want to first give my thanks and appreciation to the members of the convention committee. And I also want to thank the national leadership for working with us, for us to pull this off. This convention, it is unique in a way because we are not meeting face to face. This is the first time in the history of ALJA that we are having a convention where everybody is not, conglomerating in one location. We will all be in different parts of the world and we'll be communicating. And that is a good thing because COVID has changed the dynamics on how we communicate in the world. Having said that, well, this year convention will feature some of Liberia's finest individuals. Um, Prominent among them is Nobel laureate Lema Bowie. She's going to be one of our guest speakers. Also, we have Councillor Cyril Jones, one of Liberia's finest lawyer. He's also going to be speaking to us from Liberia. We also have a general advocate, Caroline Boa. She's also going to be speaking with us. We have veteran Liberian journalists. This is a journalist forum. So we also invited veteran Liberian journalist, James Bertie, who works for the VOA, will be one of our panel guests. There are other individuals, including it is hopeful, we are hoping, I must say, that the Liberia ambassador to the United States, my friend Josh Patton, will be able to grace this occasion. And also, we have the president of the Press Union of Liberia will be speaking. The chairman of the Mass Communication Department from the University of Liberia will also be speaking at this occasion. And this occasion is going to bring Liberians journalists that are in Liberia and those of us that are in the diaspora together via Zoom. And our colleagues back home will be gathered at one location and they will, participate in this convention. But I will now, take a little back seat, pause, and maybe I will ask my co-chair of the convention committee, Dr. Sam Johnson, who has worked very hard to make sure that all of these things that we are working on is put together. So I will now give this floor over to Dr. Sam Johnson.
Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Seaton. Thank you. Well, like the two previous speakers have said, the nature of this convention is going to be slightly different. Different not in terms of substance, but different in terms of execution. And it is all because of the current challenge we have as a globe. And so we're going to have a lineup of speakers whom Jackson has named. And the reason for which we are having those speakers is because ALJA is not a forum for interaction of former and practicing journalists in the United States. It's also a forum for advocacy. And we think that the issue of the rule of law is something that we must become seized of. The news every day, there are questions of the rule of law, the questions of violence, the question of impunity, and even the hot button issue, rape. And so we thought that as part of our advocacy, as part of setting our agenda for the new year, 2021, we needed to reflect on this particular question at this convention. And so if you look at the lineup of speakers, these are people who are knowledgeable with the subject matter of the rule of law. And it is all in support. They will all be speaking towards a central theme: the media, the rule of law, and the culture of impunity in Liberia. And as a special side event, we're going to have what we may call an echoes from the past. We're going to be recognizing the role of some of our veteran journalists who are not practicing now. And so we're going to have them. we're going to have a spotlight on where they are and what they have been doing, and what do they think has changed in terms of the media landscape and the practice of journalism in Liberia.
All right, so let's bring in Mrs. Kadi Buhari. Did I get it right?
Yeah,
Because she was me earlier on before she
correct.
gets Sue or I get Sue. Yeah, let's hear you. You are the only female there on the committee. Let's hear you. What are some of the ups and downs, probably the challenges in making sure we have a successful convention, especially this style that we've not experienced before?
Mm, yeah, as the previous speakers, they all have mentioned, this is going to be the first time. But as media practitioners, this is something that, we live, according to the waves. So we just, adapt to changes. But I'm not the only female on the committee. We also have Melissa Che Anna. But, she had very pressing engagement and she could not be here. But the challenges are basically broad for everyone. And I strongly believe this convention is going to be a trailblazer. We hope to build a form of sensitization that will be carried forward. We hope to be launching a series of ALJA that will be a monthly forum because we want to keep the momentum burning. Um, let's not forget that we have a lot of issues in Liberia. We have our democracy almost crumbling. We have rape on the rise. We have hunger, deprivation. Um, our GDP on the world market is down. There's nowhere like home. We can be here and live the best life, but we still have to go back. So, in a sense, this convention, we are going to build a momentum that will have the probability of making sure ALJA is on par with other organizations to make sure that we are on the world stage because we can speak for ourselves. Nobody is going to come to Africa and build Africa for us. We have to do it ourselves. And as Liberians, as journalists, we were there, we served without being paid. We had advantages and disadvantages. And our brothers are going through the same thing or even worse. So we have to stand here, from the backdrop of other people that came before us and speak for them. That is what we intend to do. And I want to say here that the committee, the chair, Mr. Mason, and Jackson Seaton, all of us have worked very hard. And, not only the committee members, even the members that come to meeting, they contribute. We all, we disagree to agree. We like bump heads. We are all just one family. We all missed the convention. We really wanted to be. This is like a break for us where we go, we see everybody. We love to see Isaac and Washington. We can see them this year. All the fun, we dance, we eat, but at least we have this. I want to urge all our members in Liberia, the PUL, please get this momentum going. We want this to be out there. Everybody should attend, whether you are part of ALJA or not. If you're a reporter or wanting to be a reporter, or you just have the burning desire for justice, this is your forum. Come on. Thank you.
Okay. Kadi, I call her the commissioner, the electoral commissioner. And Joe, just before we go around, I don't know whether you want to touch on the status of the various chapters and then you can bring in those that are represented here to tell us where they are and what they're doing.
Yeah, sure. So I just, I try to be a little informal in this interview because, this is a week to our convention. But can you mention something I just want to pick up on? Because typically, a week towards any ALJA convention, I mean, the city is bustling, right? Wherever we are meeting, people are up and down. Typically, the ALJAs and the J. Wesley Washington and all the guys from overseas will be in town. Be back and forth. You either have an event happening at somebody's home. There's some pepper soup taking place and fufu. So all these things are happening. All these things are happening a week towards the convention. So these are, and we really miss just that kind of interaction. Getting to hang out with our colleagues because most time we see after a year physically, especially our colleagues from Liberia as well. Normally they will all be here at this time of the year, and it will be a fun event from one place to the other. And we do a really good job being really hospitable to our colleagues. And that's one of the reasons why ALJA's convention is so attractive to our colleagues who come because we are friends. We work together for many, many years in Liberia. So we might not be in the same location. So we use that opportunity when folks gather in one place to really have the best time we can have, while at the same time realizing that as an organization, we have an overarching goal that we need to achieve. But we do have a great time. And I think for many of us here and those who could not make it, especially our colleagues in Liberia, and I know I've spoken to a lot of them, that is why we miss this year because you can never replace the virtual with the in-person physical interaction. You can never replace that. So I just wanted to make that point. I'm sure Isaac and the rest of the guys will talk about, some of that as well as we go along this interview. But I'm really excited about our chapters and where we are right now. Prior to my ascendancy, we had two active functioning chapters of ALJA. The Midwest chapter, a chapter that is headed by our newly elected president, Mr. Lincoln Bryant, and the Delaware Valley chapter headed by Mr. Jackson Seaton. I'm really excited that, under this administration, we were able to reactivate the New England chapter and Roland Brown, who serves as an officer in that chapter, is also here as well. So we're excited about the New England chapter. And just prior to the advent of COVID-19, and there were discussions in DMV area there, and Kadi can talk about that as well, just to reactivate the DMV, not to reactivate rather, because we've never had a DMV chapter, but to start a chapter in that area. And I'm hoping that when things settle down, discussions can resume, and hopefully the DMV chapter can become the full functioning chapter of ALJA. And we're looking forward to that because one of the things we want to do is to expand ALJA's footprint, not just here in the United States, but also outside the United States. And Isaac, being someone who is in Europe, I know he's given me some contacts as well. He's been involved in helping us, expand, outside the United States. And we'll continue to do that because we think the bigger our tent, the more impactful our message will be. So I'm really excited about the direction in which we're heading, and I'm appreciative of everybody here and everyone who's part of ALJA and what we've been able to accomplish so far.
All right. On that note, we will go around with those that are represented from the various chapters. Let's give Mr. Isaac the opportunity to say he's the only international representation here, representing the European belt. Isaac, welcome.
And before Isaac come in, let me say this. There are many people we try to appreciate every year, and because we're on TV and people are watching this, I want to say this publicly too. From the onset of ALJA's reactivation, one person who has been consistent in terms of attending our conventions and making sure that he's involved every step of the way in what we're doing, even though he's not in the United States, is Isaac Ye. And so I'm sure my predecessors say that as well. We appreciate Isaac. So on behalf of all of us at ALJA, Isaac, thank you so much for everything you've done and continue to do. I know I did not be for COVID. You'll be right in the Jersey now, as part of what you're doing. So again, thank you for everything, and we are so grateful for the partnership and for your friendship. Thank you.
Let's hear you.
Thank you, Joe.
And
Thank you, Joel.
to be on the record, Isaac is my former prof. Is one person who guided me and taught me what to do. And I don't know whether he's proud or disappointed in what I do.
No, I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much. But let me just open my statement by congratulating my brother Lincoln for his election as president of the chapter in the Minnesota area, and for all the good work they've done for the last convention. Lincoln, congratulations you and your team on your recent election. Yes,
Thank you.
like Joe and the other colleagues have said, we are going to miss the Jackson Poly, the face-to-face interaction, the face-to-face meetings and stuff. I have somebody talking.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to see what I can put the phone out there.
Somebody need to mute their microphone.
Yeah, I think it's better now. I just muted that line.
Okay.
Okay. I thought the noise was coming from. Okay, so yeah, obviously we're going to miss physical interaction, face to face, like Jason Seaton put it. But short of that, I don't expect anything, less than the interaction from the speakers and the guests. We are aware of the COVID and we are aware of the health protocols, so we have to abide. But I'm sure the program is going to be very unique. I mean, in a special way, even though people are going to be speaking from across the world, and with the lineup of guests and speakers and the participation of Liberian journalists and non-journalists, we expect nothing less. So yes, while we go into not having physical interaction, we expect a very good program. ALJA, like Sam said, is a media sort of in its formation, but it's more into advocacy and more into, speaking on behalf of people. So we have people who have interests who may not be necessarily journalists. So we expect a good program, and we are hoping that by next year we can start to meet, particularly like we did before. I think this should be the seventh, if my collection is correct, seventh year or eighth year or something. And it has been always old friends, old pals meeting, sharing fun, and having it's both a mixture, of a serious business, and then also a time to sort of interact and talk about old stuff. I used to always do my friend Sam Johnson. He carries a trouser with no pocket on it.
Why were you looking for pocket on my trousers?
And Isaac shared this picture, right? Isaac shared this picture in the chat room. Was it yesterday, the day before? And I think that picture was taken.
Yeah, that's I think 6 years ago.
6 years
I wish
ago.
We had, I think, the first convention here in Delaware.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And Joe stay her hair. Joe stay her hair. Don't stay. So
but the interesting thing about that picture,
the
interesting thing about the changes that Isaac want to talk about, he hasn't spoken of, is that more than 10, 20 years ago, when we all began practicing, Isaac was this short, tiny man among us who always wanted to be tall and huge. Always answer prayers, right?
I always anticipated to.
Isaac has grown up.
I've always thought I would still grow.
2 times what I currently weigh.
That's just a piece of
Joel. So I know a lot of colleagues are watching, but to be frank, Sam, 2 friends I have that don't get old, Sam and Mark and Joseph. I don't know why.
Yeah, you guys both can be. They still look the same. I mean, yeah. I mean, but in any case, where we expect a very nice convention, and we expect our speakers will do all know, I mean, all the best they can to deliver, at that convention. And we are hoping that by next year we have, an in-person convention rather than a virtual convention. So, well, I'm sure it promises to be a very good and great convention. Thank you.
All right, Isaac is there. Thank you, and we will go around the room. Lincoln Bryan is one of the new.
Joel, just before you go, yes, you introduced me as based in Europe. Yes, that's not a lie, but I'm only in one country. Europe is the longest place, so I'm based in Paris. Is
Paris.
The city of love and the city of light. So Joe was trying.
Professor is trying to correct you, my man.
Yeah, the prof is trying to give some light.
Who's that?
But
Joe. Oh yeah, Joe.
Yeah. So
we are feeling that we might someday in the future have a convention in Paris too. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
I know, right?
Let's move to
not true.
Thank you, Joe.
And you're welcome. Let's welcome now one of the newest to the local chapter's leadership of ALJA, Mr. Lincoln Bryan. Though he's not yet been officially inducted, and I'm sure, Mr. President, we are expecting that during the convention, right?
Precisely. Yes.
The but I think we will look for some sound effects to have the claps that he will make in person convention.
Some jump.
Yeah, so Lincoln is going to fill us in with the local leadership of the Midwest. I know he already hit the ground running as it relates to the local chapter there in the Midwest. Lincoln, let's hear you. Welcome, and congratulations on your elections.
Thank you, Cyrus, and thank you to Asi as well. How he congratulated me. And like most of us have said, we always miss the fun, our gathering and all that. But this is a new normal. We live in a very new world, driven by COVID rules and regulations. But quite interestingly, at the local chapter level, we are in the stage of preparation. We are working to making sure that the chapter fully participate in the upcoming, like we all said, virtual convention, which is pretty new to ALJA. At this level, we are working to have a little watch party, we will be gathering a couple of our members to one location. That is in the hall where we have the screen and participating from there around. And a couple of our chapter members, like for instance, Dr. Red in Wisconsin, Ben in the Indiana, and the guy in Texas, Akaka, they will be joining us from their location because they wouldn't have the time to come here. But for a couple of us here in Minnesota, we have engaged a hall where we will gather, taking into consideration the rules and health regulations governing the COVID. We will be wearing masks. We have our 6 feet distance. We following the state rule of the capacity of a hall. Like if you gather in a hall and you having meeting in a hall, what are the rules governing that? We will also take that into consideration. So at that point, we are working because we want to build that energy. We don't want a lot of people in their location where they could sleep, or some people could forget to join, or some people, maybe engage with other things they may not join, but coming together in one location that will kind of give the spirit, that will kind of, build the momentum when it comes to participation. And that day too, we will be working on, having a food for our people there in the hall for the time we will be spending in that place. For the few hours we'll be spending, we'll have some snacks in that hall to keep our people alert and awake as well. And just a matter of information, we're also having a meeting today at the chapter level as well with respect to the convention. We're going to be concluding our discussion on some of the things specifically that will be done during the convention. Same, we will be gathering our location with respect to the induction you made reference to, and other issues that will be happening from here. How will we participate? We have to put that rules into place, not having all of our people talking at the same time. And how can we link our people to speak convention? We can moderate that from our end. We're also working on that. So we're going to zero in on that during our meetings tonight. That is Central Time, 8 p.m. We're going to zero in on that. So basically, from the chapter level, that's what we've been doing, and we want to make the chapter present felt. Like I tell people, this is the most vibrant, and we're going to make the chapter the greatest. When you think about ALJA in the U.S., you would think about the Midwest chapter first. So basic things we've been putting into place, and you will get to hear that. We don't want to burden you with some of our business plans and all that here at the local level, but basically with our level of participation, that's the plan we have, and we hope to go by that. So thank you so much.
All right, Lincoln Brian, thanks from your end, and I don't know whether the chairman of the committee will speak on behalf of his chapter, Mr. Seaton.
Yeah, thank you very much. We at the Delaware chapter Valley level, we are mobilizing and preparing ourselves to also have a watch party where every one of us will gather at one location, and then we'll be able to participate in the virtual convention. Our members are all fired up. Everybody is energized, and we are looking forward to this convention. As a matter of fact, this afternoon, this evening, we are having a meeting of the chapter to fine-tune everything so that every one of us can be on the same page with respect to where we will gather, and for us to have this watch party. So everything is on course, and we are all involved in this whole process. We believe that the Delaware Valley chapter is one of those two major functioning chapters of ALJA, even before the resuscitation of the organization. So we believe that our chapter has been playing a pivotal role in the operation of ALJA, and we are proud of that. So our members, as I stated earlier, are fired up, and they are all waiting for all of us to gather for us to have this virtual convention. At this convention, and even though normally, as the president stated earlier, we don't see eye to eye. We talk on the phone, we talk through teleconference all of the time, but when we gather to our annual convention, it kind of bring us together. Then we reminisce on our days back, when we were on the field, the cattle, all the other things that were happening, So, it's a wonderful feeling when you have all of your former colleagues, all of you gather together, you'll be talking about all of those days when you went on beats, some of the things that happened, it's interesting. And so we are happy that we are having this convention virtually, despite we are not meeting face to face.
All right, and like the president
Sarah,
stated,
before you come in, can I just pick up from where Jackson and Lincoln ended?
And I also have updates for the DMV chapter.
Yeah, I was coming to you.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, DMV.
Yeah.
Dr. Johnson,
I defer to the lady.
We will still come back to you. Let's hear you.
She needs to complete.
All right. Well, the DMV chapter, let me just say, we had a couple of meetings and it was going pretty well. So I was chairing it. My co-chair was Mr. Swat Dede, and my mobilization chair was Rufina Dapo. So, and on the committee, members were Abdullah Duclay, who is currently a professor at Georgetown. I had Charles Crawford, because he lives in DMV. Gabriel Williams also agreed to join the chapter. I had Gapi Gepo, James Botti, John Lloyd, Max Willie, Momo Kane, Also, we did have Priscilla Quare. She lives in Arizona, but she was like an adopted member because she, according to her plans, she will be coming this way. Ray Parker. So we had a couple of meetings. Then the corona came. Then we had a bump because when we were about to launch the chapter, we realized that the ALJA Constitution did state that you have to have between 10 to 12 members. And sometimes some of the members come to meetings, some of the time we don't have a complete quorum. So, we sent out a memo asking people to sign up, if they really, we wanted their commitment, and they did. But we still did not have the number that we were supposed to have, the commitment that we needed from members. We did not get it until Corona came. So what we decided to do, because based on advice from Mr. Dede and Rufina and other parties, they were saying, well, the Constitution is going to be amended. So I think that will be in our favor. And we are going to move forward with establishing this chapter, and with the caliber of members we have. Now I can see that Mr. Botti is calling me. Like before I came on this call, he did call about meetings. So people are like gearing up. My mobilization chair, she lost her brother. That hit her very bad. And up till now, she's still not, to her full capacity. Like she normally, she's really good. She will call, she go after people. So I'm waiting for her to give me the green light. So once that is done, but this chapter, trust me, will be very strong. Lincoln, I'm giving you a challenge. We coming.
All right, yeah, that's a very strong one indeed. And Lincoln,
Yeah, no problem.
work around the clock to make sure you meet up with that in maintaining the strength of your Midwest chapter. And Mr. Sito, if you could just adjust your camera shot a little bit, that would be better for us. Yeah, thank you very much. You were trying to come back in, Dr. Johnson.
Yeah, the issue of watch parties, I think it's important that we also emphasize that our colleagues in Liberia are also going to be a part of this convention virtually.
Mhm.
And so, as part of that, to ensure that they are going to be meeting at the YMCA building on Broad Street on the day of the convention, beginning at 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Liberian time. They are going to be gathering there, and two of our speakers, Madam Caroline Boa and Councillor Jones, will be speaking to us from there. And so we're going to have a moderator at the convention site at the YMCA hosting Liberian journalists and others who may be interested in our work. While we'll have various, if not several, watch parties across the US. So the way the structure of the convention is going to work is like this. You're going to have one central person who's going to be the convention moderator or coordinator who's going to chair the entire period of the convention. And then you're going to have co-anchors, kind of co-moderators at these various meeting sites. So talk about the site in Minnesota, the site here in Delaware, the site in Monrovia, and probably the site in New England. And so we're going to bring ourselves together, coordinating through all of these events by means of technology.
And let me just ask them. I just want to extend our thanks on behalf of the organizing committee, the leadership of ALJA. Extend our thanks to the president of the PEL, Mr. Charles Coffey, who we've worked with over the last several weeks to be able to organize the wash party and ensure that our colleagues in Monrovia do get to attend. I also want to commend Mr. Malcolm Joseph as well, who's been really instrumental in ensuring that when we, as an organization, want to get something done in Monrovia, he's someone who we've always called upon and he's always come true for us. So I want to thank him as well. But the goal really for the watch party here is the same as the watch party in the United States. Uh, because we cannot meet in person, one of the things that we talked about it here earlier on, one of the things that I obtained at our Just Convention is the camaraderie, the friendship, the brotherhood that exists. Because we're not meeting in person, we're trying to see how we can foster that, even at these different watch parties we're having. So we intend to provide some small refreshment for our colleagues who will be showing up at the YMCA. As well, just saying thank you for taking your time and coming to be a part of what we're doing. But we hope they can be engaged in the process as well, interacting with our speakers, whether they're speaking from different parts of the world. I know Madam Lema Bowie will be speaking from Ghana, where she currently reside. I know Mr. Buddy will speak from here as well. He will not be a part of the watch party. So will the other speakers as well. But we intend at least for the speakers in Monrovia to gather at the YMC as well. So at least it can be an interactive event at the watch party.
So just before we go further, let me also announce that Creative Minds Television, KMTV Liberia, will be live streaming our entire convention. So our followers and viewers out there, our friends around the world can join us live on KMTV next week, Saturday, for the first virtual convention of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas. So that's one thing, Mr. President, we are excited to do, and we hope that we can do this to benefit ALJA and his friends and fans out there. So we were going around the room. Roland Brown of the New England chapter kept coming on and going up, and sadly we did not get him to give us an update as it relates to where they are and what we are expecting from them. But I think the expectation across the entire spectrum is just the same. There is nothing that we expect different, but whatever way we can come together and gather and making sure we cannot just pass on this year and bind down the COVID-19 is what we are all pushing for. So just as we prepare to wrap it up on this special interview, I'll once again go around the room for your final words. Let's start with you, Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
your final message as we wrap up this section.
Oh, thank you, Joel. Well, I just want to congratulate our colleagues. The whole ALJA thing. Uh, when it's fun, when it's was fun there, it ran through some hurdles, and then Joe, Moses, and the other guys took it over, and they've done tremendously well. They've changed the outlook, they've changed the reputation, they've changed everything, and he has become a one great and powerful organization, and supported by people in the various zones, different chapters, and I think that deserves our commendation. I know in Europe, we are not many here, or at least those with interest are not many. There could be more journalists here, but the interest is not there, because I know they have Simon Reeves, they have Lynn Fogware, and all the guys here. But you guys in America have actually changed the paradigm, and ALJA is moving, and I just want to commend you for all that you do. Keep pushing, and I'm sure it will get better. I mean, more than what it is now. It can get better more than this. So, and for the 2020 convention, Mr. Seaton, Mr. Dr. Johnson, and the other guys, thank you ever so much. We wish and anticipate a good show on next Saturday, and we are hoping that we'll be a part of that event. So thank you so much, and God bless.
All right. Thank you, Isaac. We will continue pushing, and we expect that you continue following as we push. We just want to send the word out there to our colleagues that we look forward to their full engagement with all of the activities of the organization. In Liberia, it's going to begin at 2 p.m. Liberian time. In the US here, if you're on the Eastern Shores, it's going to begin at 10 a.m. Europe, 4 p.m. That is for Isaac and the rest of the folks in Europe. And in China, where we hope to have Wesley Washington joining us, we're going to begin from there at 10 p.m. Chinese time. So we're going to have this simultaneous cast of this convention through technology. And hopefully we are praying to God and looking forward that it's going to be successful and an eye-opener for how we'll continue to engage as we move forward into the future. Except that we're going to be missing our pamboto, cassava leaf, and jollof rice this year. And no cattle this year for Saros, unfortunately.
The man can have this.
We need to expand the menu. The last year we had what ball name from Minnesota giving us GB.
Oh, that GB was a thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, Joel. Man, I mean the GB was not fun, man.
That GB was not fun, oh.
Oh, it was.
That GB was not fun. And that
was from Aerosole. So let's come to you.
The one we're talking about is not forever.
Zola had his own that was the welcoming something meet and greet. Joey was in the hall.
Okay.
Yeah, that is hard.
Okay.
I said, give me some.
Okay.
So let's come to you later.
Yeah, so from my end, first want to congratulate the committee headed by Sito. We want to congratulate you and most especially the leadership, not allowing this global crisis to kind of hold us back and making sure that we are still using the other means available to us through the internet to have this convention. And we want to also congratulate the guys in Liberia as well with the level of organization, the level of cooperation, and hearing all the good stuff from them, making sure that they have a full participation as well. And I want to thank everyone on this platform for being very supportive of ALJA. And we are also here well energized and prepared to contribute our own quota, our own ideas, knowledge, and thoughts about moving ALJA forward. So thank you so much, and great to be on this platform today.
All right, Lincoln Brown, and we go to Mrs. Buhari.
Well, I just want to say I'm very happy to be here, representing ALJA. And to also say congratulations to all of us. Congratulations to our former president of ALJA, Mr. Moses Sandy, for bringing ALJA from the backyard to the living room. And now Mr. Mason is going to take ALJA from the living room to the front porch. And I want to say here, we also do realize new challenges come with a lot of opportunities. So as we face the challenges in ALJA, we also know there are opportunities out there for us. I strongly believe if we forge on together as we are doing currently, ALJA will be a force to reckon with. All the ladies in ALJA to wake up. We all have other engagement, but at least put in some time so that we can have the female agenda into ALJA. I want to say thank you to Isaac, J. West, my former co-worker, all of the other guys out there that are always coming. We love you all and wish to see you soon. And Lincoln, congratulations, man.
And
thank you, Kali.
And we now run on to our dynamic chairman of this year's virtual convention, and the man who's going to make it happen and make COVID-19 to understand that you cannot shut us down. Mr. Jackson T.S. Sita, let's hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, quite frankly, even though I'm the chairperson of this year's uh, virtual convention, but I could not do it without the help of the committee members, especially Dr. Sven Johnson, and also the input from the president and all of the members, Kadiatu, everybody worked very hard to make sure that we pull this off. So I want to say thank you to every one of you. I really appreciate all of the work that you have done. Let us continue to work together for the upliftment of this organization. Now, as you all know, journalism is a technology-driven profession. So when COVID hit and new technologies begin to emerge with respect to video conferencing, which I thought it was, I said, look, even though COVID wants to shut us down, but we have to evolve. And we evolved. And now we are having a virtual convention. So again, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Let us pick up the phone. Let us call all of our members to make sure that everybody come together so that we can pull this up, because the issues that we will be discussing are very germane to contemporary Liberian issues. The issue of rape, the culture of impunity, the rule of law. These are the bedrock for the sustenance of any democratic country. If these bedrocks are not upheld in any society, that society can degenerate into chaos. And we don't want Liberia to degenerate into chaos as it did in the past. So I just want to encourage all of our members, those that are all over the world, come to the virtual convention. You are not paying anything. You are just driving, maybe getting your car and drive to your friend place. If you have work for that day, well, tell your boss and say, look, I'm taking this time off because I need to be with my colleagues so that we can discuss Liberia. Because this whole convention is about discussing Liberia. And every one of us, even the government, the people, those of us that are in the diaspora, all of us have a stake in Liberia. And no Liberian is more Liberian than another Liberian. So I just want to thank you, Cyrus, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Jackson, sit on chair of the 2020 ALJA Convention. And without much ado, I will now switch it over to the National President, Mr. Joe Mason, for his final words as we wrap it up.
Thank you, Cyrus, and thanks to everyone who is on today. I know I called many of you at very short notice, but thanks for coming on and just speaking about our organization and our convention coming up in about a week from today. I want to be thankful to the chair and members of the committee. I want to be grateful to the heads of our different chapters and the respective leadership of those chapters as well. I want to thank all members of ALJA for their support over the last several months. I know we've gone through some challenging times as a consequence of COVID, but I'm grateful for the continued support that you all have given this administration, and together as an organization, we will continue to accomplish great things. I want to thank those who've contributed financially. One of the things we said this year as an organization is that we will not level convention fee on our membership, because we wanted to provide at least this platform for every ALJA member to be able to access and to be a part of. The membership have come true. They've given voluntarily, and I want to be grateful to everyone who has contributed voluntarily to meeting the cost of this convention. I'm really, really grateful, and I'm looking forward to others as well as we go through the next few days to be able to come up and support the cost of the convention. In just 6 years, ALJA has gone from, and I know Isaac talked about it, we've gone from a state of dormancy to becoming a preeminent voice among Liberian diaspora organization in the United States. And one of the things we've done consistently, and I think all Liberians should do that as well, is to hold our government and our leaders accountable, ensuring that they provide good governance, ensuring that they respect those tenets that are important to our democracy. As an organization, we moved from about, I think, 2025 when we gathered for the mini convention in Delaware several years ago to now well over 90 journalists who are part of what we're doing. And we are continuing to expand as an organization. My goal, as Kadi said, as I move from the living room to the front porch, is to be able to attract as many of our colleagues as possible to the organization. I know, there are colleagues of ours who have had some issues in the past when ALJA existed, but my call to them is that we are moving forward as an organization. The goal is not to litigate the past. We're not going to the past. We're moving forward as an organization, and we're continuing to just expand. One of the things we're doing now is trying to build relationships. We're trying to engage institutions and organizations. We have right now a wonderful relationship with the University of Minnesota. As a matter of fact, we are having Dr. Amy Hewitt, who is from the U, who will be speaking at the virtual convention. And I think the more we build relationships with institutions such as the journalism school, the more we accrue benefit for our colleagues in Liberia, because ultimately that is our goal, to be able to impact our colleagues in Liberia in whatever way we can. And that is something we'll continue to do here, thanks to our Human Resource and Development Committee, thanks to Dr. Johnson, who heads that committee, thanks to Dr. McDonough Mesga, who is also a member of that committee. We're just blessed with enormous talent and capacity, and I'm hoping that we can now, in turn, use the gift, the talent, the capacity, the resources that God has given us to be able to impact our colleagues in Liberia. That is something we'll continue to do. We have a wonderful working relationship with the president of the PEL. We'll continue to expand and build on that relationship. So I'm really grateful to everyone for the support. I'm looking forward, come next Saturday, to an exciting virtual convention. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joe.
Sarah, you are muted.
Oh, you off?
I'm just getting it, and I know that's one of the things we're gonna be fighting with. You are muted. You need to unmute yourself. But I think we have a team that will coordinate perfectly what we're gonna be doing. I'd like to say thanks to all of you for taking up your time in coming on with me here on KMTV to talk about ALJA's convention and what we expect to see until Saturday when we all get to meet again. I'd like to say I pray that we all have a wonderful time. Let's continue to encourage one another and have ourselves a wonderful, wonderful period of convention. And on this note, I'll leave us with this one, David G, Sweet Liberia, as we leave this section. Bye-bye.
It's the time to come together. Keep my being the same.